Hi friends, welcome back to Tech with Ryder. And today in this video, we're going to talk about rate limiting, and I will tell you about what is the rate limiting, how it works, and what is the use case of rate limiting. And finally, we will use NodeJS to implement rate limiting. What is the rate limiting? You know, sometimes users send a lot of requests to server and you want to prevent it. For example, you are doing an authentication application and user type username password wrong a lot of time. So you want to block that user in 1 hour, for example. Or you are make a website and you want to prevent bot engineer to go to your website and crawling your website data, or you are doing a email service and you want to prevent users send a lot of email because you want to limit the email for every 1 hour or every day, or you are making a payment process and you don't want to user send a lot of payment request in 1 hour, for example, or you are doing other API rate limiting, you should to use rate limiting. You can see here, front of our application, we have a rate limiting and depends on user request information like IP, username, email, or phone number. If that information the don't violate your rules, so it will pass to rate limiting and user can access to our application here. If user cannot pass rate limiting, we will permit an error or something here, and we will prevent user, don't allow user access to our application. For more detail about one application, for example, with authentication application, if user type username password wrong 5 times, we will make a rate limiting here with that user. And the next time, if user try to access to authentication application, it will prevent here, and it cannot access to authentication application. After rate limiting time is expired, user can come back and authenticate again. Now, let's implement rate limiting with NodeJS. I will open the terminal and install NodeJS. I will install Expert with Ryder. Server.js. I have I will create a middleware and embed it here. Rate limiting middleware. Okay, so string literal insurer. Okay, now I will create a entry point, for example, log string. I will do something here. And now I will create a rate limiting middleware. Rate to show yet. I will in this I will make a rate limiting function, and we have request, response, and next. Now I will include Reddit. Connect to Reddit client. Create client host. Port. Because I'm using a Reddit config default, so I don't need to use this one. I can comment this. And if you are using other configuration, you can update this one. Okay, so now I will make a config for rate limiting mark request. For example, 5 is the maximum number of requests allowed. And we have the rate limiting time, rate limiting time in milliseconds. I want to log like 1 minute, 160, and convert it to millisecond. Is the 1 minute. So now I want to get the IP. Oh, first of all, we need to get the path of request, because I only want prevent for request to log in API. Other request I don't want to check with rate limiting. Okay, so first of all, I want to get the path request URL request URL, right? So if a path different with login index and return. Okay, and other else we should to check with rate limiting. Okay, so now custom IP, I will get IP of the request, and I can check it with user email or username, but for easier I just only check with IP. Okay, so now I will increment increment the key, that's EIP here. Okay, so its function will return a callback with error and current count, and if we have an error, should be display something here. We cannot increment Reddit key and return to client started. This song. For example, internal server error. Now, if the first time we increment this key, we should to make it with expired time. So now, if this is the first time, that means current count equal 1. We should to add expired time for this key. So Reddit client dot expire the IP, that is the key, and rate limit time 1000 to convert this to second, convert to second. Okay, and now in case current count more than mark request, we need to permit an error. Okay, if current count exceed maximum, display an error. So if current count more than mark request, should be display an error here, rate limit exceeded, for example, and we will return to client that let me check rate limiting HTTP status code. That's the 4, 2, and 9. Listen, we have an error. Okay. In other case, we will continue with other process. So now export this model, rate limiting. Okay, and import it here. Okay, now let's try this one. I will run the server.js file, and I will make a request to server. You can see we need to return something here. Request response send. Now let's run the server and check it again. I will make more than 5 requests to server, more exactly to login API. Now you can see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see when we send too many requests to server and the number of requests is more than max request here, the server will permit an error and we cannot to access to the login function. I will make a console log here. You are accessing to login API. Let's run it again. No server. We have to login API. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see here with the first 5 requests, user can access to server, but with the request 6, it cannot pass, it cannot to access to the API. It's prevented by rate limiting middleware, right? Remember that rate limiting will be reduce your API performance because we need to make a middleware here and it will prevent every your request to server. So remember to use rate limiting. In some case you actually need to use. If you feel this video is useful for you or you gain something from me via this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe my YouTube channel. I will make other interesting videos in the future. Thank you so much for your time and see you in the next video.